I wanted to discuss the Halo Infinite conversation that's been going around this weekend because 343 made the following tweet. Basically, they said Halo and Master Chief are here to stay. 343 Industries will continue to develop Halo now and in the future, including epic stories, multiplayer, and more of what makes Halo great. That's from Pierre Hintz, the studio head. Pierre Hintz has sort of taken over. As you know, there's been a lot of concern on the internet about the current status of Halo Infinite, given everything that has transpired in the last few months. There's this Halo leak that came out, which is why I think 343 felt it necessary to make the response. And I'm going to read that right after we play my intro. So yeah, I even think I still have the Halo shield sound effect on my intro just for fun. And this story talks about the rumors from a French poster who has a good track record of getting things right. And this is Metro who has went ahead and translated it. The original tweet, though, I believe they post to it right here. So we'll go through the original tweet, okay? Let's go through it page by page, because he makes some claims. And the main claim that he makes is the dismissals within 343 Industries are unfortunately the result of poor management of the studio and its workforce by the people in charge. If this could have been avoided, the impact of the strategy remains minimal. Multiplayer-oriented content. And the long and the short of it is, based on how much of this I read, before talking about the future of 343 Industries, let's talk about the impact on the studio's current strategy, the state of what we have already mentioned to you in our previous threads. The long and the short of what his post says is, originally there was a bunch of campaign content planned, and that has now been scrapped in favor of more multiplayer content. So if you go over here, they point out that in terms of multiplayer content, this won't actually be that much of a change, as the majority of content for Season 2 of Halo Infinite was already being made by outside companies. Bathroad Spartan has been accurate in the past, and they also point out that... Sorry, one second here. Sorry, everybody. Although redundancies have affected all Microsoft studios, I apologize for the poor structure of this. They blame bad management at Xbox. And if new rumors are true, it's one that Microsoft has accepted, with reports suggesting that 343 will be taken off active development of the Halo series and will merely oversee other third-party studios as they create new games and content. And if you look at the tweet that I brought up earlier, or the post that I brought up earlier, where 343 responded, that's what they're responding to. Now, here's the take that I posted. I said, Halo Infinite gameplay is kind of great. I think the core gameplay loop of Halo Infinite, it's a modernization of Halo. It feels like Halo. And I'm starting to wonder if that's just moved on for most people. Like, if the gaming industry has just moved on from that sort of pacing for a Halo game. When the multiplayer previews came out, everybody was very happy with it for the most part. We were all really excited about Halo Infinite. Playing through the campaign, I really enjoyed the campaign. The story is good, good enough. It sort of sets up a mystery at the end. We're supposed to be getting more story content. Who knows if that's going to happen now? But the long and the short of it is, the problems were more with follow-up. It wasn't where it needed to be. There's issues in multiplayer that just aren't getting addressed quick enough. The whole cosmetic system is just terrible in Halo Infinite. It should be burnt to the ground and rebuilt, because the idea that you have like 5 different cores and you have to pick a core, and then within those cores you can only have like 2 different cosmetics, it's just like, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but it has clearly not panned out, and everybody kind of just ends up mostly looking samey, though you can get fairly creative with all the drops that they've implemented. There were sync issues. Big team battle wasn't working for a long time. There's broken promises like couch co-op not coming. And the long story short of it is, this is not the state that Halo should be in. I also replied to Colt Eastwood this weekend. Colt said something. Let me just find that reply, because it's been on my mind a lot this weekend. And I apologize for the bare bones nature of this and how I'm putting it together sort of on the fly, but I wanted to talk about it, and I figure I would do it here. Colt said the following. Here it is. If we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox, says Phil Spencer, at a time when Xbox only had 4 main studios and like 3 living IPs. Now Xbox has 23 studios and almost 40 living IP. Xbox is bigger than just Halo. Yes, it is bigger than just Halo, but this would be like Sony just buying Naughty Dog and then they just released garbage. Right? Like if that happens, Sony fans would also be mad. So the idea that Microsoft letting this happen, or the 343 team having Halo in the current state it's in, not only is there like mismanagement issues that are quite concerning, the whole freelancer thing that was brought up by a former person over there, and these repeated promises that are broken from 343, it's very concerning. So like, I like Colt Eastwood, but I very much disagree with his statement here. And here's what I said to him. I said, it's still a bad sign when the flagship title is handled in a way that leaves it where it currently stands. In my opinion, it's time for Microsoft to start getting a bit more hands-on when things run amok. I think that's what's happening at 343i right now. How long do you let 343i make promises like couch co-op's going to be day one, and then they just drop the ball? Now we had already seen massive restructuring. Now we're seeing a ton of layoffs at 343. And what is going on over there at this point? It took them almost a year to implement an escape key command that would at least show the bounties that you had available to you at a time. And even now, the way that their system's built, they can't track how much progress you've made on those bounties. Like, are you kidding? That seems so simple. Now, I know nothing in game development is simple. So I don't mean to disparage anybody that worked really, really hard to implement that. But the reason that I harp on something so minor is because of exactly that. It's a minor, small thing that took a year to implement. How does Halo Infinite, get into a state where the players can't play big team battle for several months, where there's desync issues, so comp is basically unplayable? There's very, very big red flags and concerns with the Halo Infinite franchise as a whole. And like we can talk about COVID, we can talk about everything else, but at the end of the day, when Microsoft on the one hand is saying, sure, you can use contractors, but you have to fire them after 18 months. And 343 is like saying, well, we rely too much on contractors. I'm wondering, well, how big is the 343 team? How if you rely on freelancers so much to the point that you cannot make your game without them, they need to be converted. And if you don't have budget to do that, then I don't know. That statement, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox, keeps being brought up because Halo deserves better than this. And this is just really rambly. I realize I'm just sort of thinking about it. And I feel like, and here's what I tweeted. Something is fundamentally broken with how this game is being built. And now with the layoffs, the future of the IP seems rocky at best. As a mega Halo fan, to say I'm concerned for this series would be an understatement. What is Halo going to look like in 5 years? What is Halo Infinite even going to be in a year or two? Are we going to get another one of those story multiplayer missions that's basically like, go kill stuff, Spartan, and then you come back, you killed stuff, good job? That's what we got. And we got a bunch of stories on a website. Like, this isn't a Destiny level game, and we're getting Grimoire on a website. Grimoire was how Destiny did a lot of their storytelling for Destiny 1. It's insane to me. And 343 is not a small studio. Like, they're not small. They're smaller now because of the layoffs, but like, how does it get this bad? And everybody's pointing to upper management. So, I mean, they've cleaned house from what I can tell and are doing a full reset, but I don't know if Halo Infinite ever comes back. This was supposed to be the game that brought it back. 5 was not it. 5 was fun for the people who continue playing it. I play Halo Infinite more than I play other games in the Halo. I play Halo Infinite more than I played Halo 4, more than I played Halo 5. The gameplay is pretty solid. Like, I still enjoy it. But when you look at the numbers of active players, it's scary low. And that's their flagship title. And then you see people talking about how the box art is now being changed to Starfield. So they're placing all their bets on Starfield, which is an acquired studio, mind you. They purchased Bethesda, and Bethesda had been separately making Starfield for years. So if one of the core Microsoft Game Studios teams cannot figure out how to do Halo Infinite properly, that is very, very concerning for the future of Xbox, honestly. The future of Xbox and at least the future of Halo. And this weekend, this is what everybody's thinking about. So besides the freelancer issue, what happened with Halo? How did it end up here? Can it be salvaged? Those are the questions everyone is trying to answer now. So when 343 says they'll still make content, that's not particularly reassuring given the last 5 years of Halo. I'll give 343 this. I think Halo Infinite is one of the stronger games that they have developed. I think Halo 4 graphically was very impressive. You have to remember Halo 4 launched on the 360. They launched the Master Chief Collection and it's a disaster. They fix it after years. Why is that like, that shouldn't be the norm. The norm shouldn't be you launch something and it's a disaster and then it takes you several years to get it back on track. That's just not how it's supposed to work. And when I say disaster, I mean, you literally couldn't find games in Master Chief Collection when it launched for what, a year? I'm glad they keep working on it. I love Halo. I'm still playing the battle pass right now. Like I unlocked a few of the things, but at this point I'm just like, what's the point? It sounds like Halo Infinite is just going to be dumped sooner rather than later. And there's rumors of the Tatanka, which is the battle royale, the big battle royale, potentially being what I think is they're making Tatanka or whatever in a separate engine on Unreal because the Slipspace engine is just a disaster. So Halo 4, it launched. It didn't resonate the way that they hoped. Halo 5 launched. Terrible story. Multiplayer sort of hit. Halo 5 launched. Pretty good story. Gameplay feels good. Support just isn't there. And they launched it a year late. And now about a year after launch, here we are. They had the winter update. Thank God they finally got Forge working because the community is finally making some good stuff. But where does Halo go from here? This is not a scripted video. I'm just going to put it out there. I want to hear your thoughts. Like I think Halo's potentially like screwed. I think they've corroded away at trust so much with the community that it's very hard for people to like get hype for Halo again. And like, even if it's a Halo 6 or the next big expansion, like after so many times, even the most hardcore fans like myself are just like, can I even trust you this time? I hope that there's a large chunk of story that's announced or something, because the story was one of the more fun parts. It was a good send off for Cortana. I like the interaction with the weapon and Master Chief. I got every achievement in the story. I played through on with all the skulls on and all the stuff. I didn't get the new achievements or whatever, but I still have to do that. I am worried about the future of the Halo franchise. More so than I have ever been about Halo. And if they can't get Halo right, what does that say about their ability to manage studios? It's scary. That quote from Phil Spencer, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox. Because I have to imagine even Phil Spencer is back there saying, well, I realized that was like a decade ago, but he's like, there's no way we would ever lose our way with Halo. Well, here we are. Halo is in a very dangerous place right now. And people are thinking that, hey, maybe this ship can't be corrected. Maybe I'm just old. And separately, maybe I'm just old. Maybe just Halo was just a game of its time. Halo 1, 2, and 3 were really, really special games to me. And I love them, but maybe this game just does not resonate with people the way that Xbox or anybody wants it to. Because I think Halo Infinite launched in a pretty strong state. Free multiplayer. It's very, very fun at launch. Free campaign. Even with the problems, like, you should still see a player base that is staying with the game, but there's something about the gameplay loop that's not resonating. So if that Tatanka thing is true, that needs to come out sooner rather than later, because the way that Halo Infinite is going right now, I don't know if we're going to get another Halo after Infinite. That's how it feels. And maybe that's okay. Maybe we just look back and we remember Halo fondly, and that was that, right? Time in our lives, and we let it go, and we move on to the Starfields and whatever else is going to be coming down the line. I like new IPs. I like exploring new IPs, but I don't know how you come back from this. How many times are we going to be told that you're going to do something and then you announce you're not going to do it? Like couch co-op, right? Stop saying you're going to do things and then take it away. That erodes trust. And you clearly backed, Xbox clearly backed Halo Infinite a whole bunch. And then it comes out and it's fine at launch, but it doesn't seem to resonate with people the way that they hoped. So where does the franchise go from here? What's next? Because if they change it too much, they're going to get a massive backlash from everybody else. If they make it Call of Duty, which is a successful model, right? They have campaign for Call of Duty, they have multiplayer for Call of Duty, and they have a Battle Royale. By the way, Warzone 2.0, also seeing a lot of player loss. So very, very concerning time for Halo and for Xbox right now. Xbox has a lot of games that they could be showing this year. Hopefully they are renowned, because I also made the video about how it's been 10 years, still no Game of the Year contender at the Game Awards. Yeah, it's concerning. And I feel like Halo Infinite is on everybody's mind right now. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell if you like my content. Half of you are not subscribed, so please consider hitting that subscribe button. I do appreciate it very much, and you'll help me hit 100K. Members, thank you so much for supporting me in doing videos like this randomly on the weekend. All my members are listed here. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll see you for the next one. You can also check out the story about the layoffs at Microsoft right here. My son's banging on the door, so I'm going to go, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.